Therapy Army! Let's be having you, people. Let's be having you, Therapy Army. Smash a like on the video on your way in. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We're 500 away from 8,000 on the road to 10K, people. Let's go. Big up to everybody. Mundo, how you doing? How's your day? You having a bit of King Charles? Coronation and all that?
Yeah. It's a shame the weather in London's been horrendous. So been stuck indoors all day. So yeah, I've been watching Charlie get his crown.
Better what Charlie's about, me, and it poured. For all those royal enthusiasts, it poured, mate. It rained. It's raining a little bit in Manchester. There's a couple of street parties, so big up everybody. But yeah, Mundo, big game tomorrow. A must-win game tomorrow. Manchester United, West Ham faces Manchester United. It's not an easy ground for us to go to, really. We've had some stinkers out there. Remember, Jose put in McTominay as a centre-back and us getting roasted. Roasted! It is a must-win, mate. It is a must-win, Ian Fontaine. It is a massively must-win. It's going to be a very interesting game tomorrow, Mundo. How are you feeling about it? Obviously, Liverpool won today. They're 1 point behind. For me, games in hand mean nothing to me in football. It's all about having the points on the board. But what are you thinking, Mundo?
Yeah, I think it's a must-win game for two reasons. One is obviously as fans to settle our anxiety, yeah, because we're all anxious because Liverpool are creeping up. But the second thing is for the team to, because what you don't want is that pressure. So because we've got 2 games in hand over Liverpool, not just one. So their mindset needs to be: if you win those 2 games, you're 7 points clear of Liverpool. And don't even think about Liverpool. Just win 3 games. Win 3 games, and you've qualified for the Champions League. That's all it is. Yeah. But our form is patchy. That's the problem. And for me, the other thing is, I want to end the season. We need to be ending the season on a roll because we've got a cup final against Man City, and the likelihood is they will. I think they'll beat Madrid over 2 legs. And they'll probably, knowing City, they'll probably win the last 3 or 4 league games as well. So they're going to that cup game off the back of an unbelievable winning streak. Yeah. And we'll be going into, and if we continue our current form, which is currently win, loss, draw, win, loss, draw, win, loss, draw, it's just I don't think we'll lose tomorrow because we haven't, strangely enough, we haven't lost back-to-back games. So we'll turn up one game and get hammered 7-0 or 6-3, and then we'll win, and then the following game we'll win. We're very up and down and patchy. So we've got how many games? 6 games left. So win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. You know, we need to just win 3 games, end off. And if we can win those games sooner rather than later, it'll just be the team can then focus on the cup final. As I said before, we don't want to be going into the last game knowing that we need to win that last game. I think we're home, aren't we, against Fulham? I think it might be our final game of the season. I might be wrong on that. I know that our next couple of games, we've got West Ham and then Wolves.
What West Ham, Wolves?
Bournemouth.
Then we've got Charles. I'll tell you now. Let me tell you right now what our fixtures are. Our fixtures are West Ham. Sunday, tomorrow night. And then we've got on the 13th, Wolves at home. Then on the 20th, we've got Bournemouth away. And then on the 25th, we've got Chelsea at home. And then after that, Fulham at home. 28th, that's our last league game. And we finish that. And then Man City is the 3rd, if I'm not 3rd of June.
If we can, I mean, Bournemouth away is a winnable game. That is absolutely a winnable game. So if we could, ideally what you want is 3 wins in the next 3 games. And then we're going into the Chelsea, no matter how shit they are, right? It's just, we're not very good against, well, they're not even in the top, but traditional top 6 teams. I'll just leave it at that because they're not a top 6 team at the moment. But we generally, our record against, especially definitely away from home, we're dreadful. our home form this season against them has been really good. I think we won every game, haven't we, against traditional top 6 rival teams. But it's just dependent on what Man United turns up on the day. Chelsea is a potential banana skin. No matter what form they're on, it's not a guaranteed win. So for me, we want to get it. We want to get over the line, which is we need a result tomorrow. We need a result against Wolves and Bournemouth, and then we're home and dry.
Yeah, big up, Tom. Welcome to the stream, bro. I hope Sheffield. How's it sunny in Sheffield? Is it sunny today? Or is it pissing down like it is in London? Raining on the parade, the coronation, and all that. You got your flag out for King Charles? You having it or what? Are you the same mentality that there's the only king that we recognize as United fans is Uwa Cantona. Cantona is the only king I know. Anyway, talk to me.
Yeah, listen, always good and everything. Sheffield, listen, it always pissed it down, done it up here. So what can we say? Yeah, at the end of the day, like I don't think King Charles got too wet, did he? He was in a big cathedral, wasn't he? So I don't think he really got. The weather didn't really rain his parade, did it? But no, listen, as always, we know one king, don't we? And that's King Cantona, mate.
King Cantona, mate. The only king we know is King Cantona. Big up to everybody.
Yeah.
Talk to me, Tom. What are you thinking about this game? Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Well, listen, it's as much as people want to say that the home form will bail us out. I don't personally think it will in some of the games, because I think some of these games, mate, we've got teams who have got things to play for. Like tomorrow, as much as we have top 4 to play for, we have took our A off. We've took us eye off the ball. We have to admit that. I think a lot of focus went into when we were in all the competitions and fighting on all fronts. We can blame whomever we want for that. Europa League, we ended up dumping. FA Cup, we barely scraped through on a penalty shootout to get to the final. So at the end of the day, we've got a decent run. I think after tomorrow, every single game from now till the end of the season, it's 1 a week. So we do have a bit of rest. We do have a bit of time to prepare and plan with our players. But the only problem that we can always go back to the same point is West Ham are a team where they need points just as much as we do at this moment in time. Forget teams like Chelsea and stuff, mate. They don't have a note to play for. Like you can probably easily turn a team over like Chelsea because they haven't got much to play for them players, so they're not going to be motivated. West Ham are motivated because A, they need to get out of the relegation sort of fight and scrap that they're in, and B, because financially to drop out of the Premier League now is such a weight and such a loss and a negative to a football club in the modern day Premier League era. It affects your finances so much more, and especially when they've got that 60 capacity stadium, to pay off of the leasing fees and things like that. But look, at the end of the day, West Ham, like, they always seem to give us a game. That's the thing. That's the thing that I'm always considerate of. We've played them multiple times in the Cups over the last 3 years. We've played them multiple times home and away. We've won some, drawn some, and, well, in most recent anyway, we've lost some. But the only thing I can think we can take is what Mundo really said was we don't lose back-to-back games. That's the thing that I always say. We always get a reaction and we always bounce back. But in terms of the whole process with the game, ultimately, it's going to come down to, do we have the bottle to go away from home and actually stick it on a team? Because we've been away to, Brighton, we've been away to Villa, we've been away to, teams that were similar to West Ham, just more up the table. The only difference with West Ham is they need to scrape for any point that they can get this moment in time. And listen, if David Moyes can guarantee that he gets a draw, mate, he's going to do it at the end of the day. And that means Man United drop points. And love it or hate it, people, we've got the Scousers who are breathing down his necks. And, a couple of weeks ago, we were laughing at, Liverpool, mate. Now they ain't going to ever come anywhere near the top 4. And we can say what we want about the home form and everything. But I don't believe in form. I don't believe in performances when it comes to 4 or 5 games to the end of the season. I believe in you just get the points on the board. Liverpool have done that. Yeah, you can say what they want. We have games in hand. As me and Original have always agreed upon, I'd rather have the points on the board and know where we are than you have games in hand that you're not forced to win. But the only problem with this team is whenever we've been in a big pressure situation, especially away from home, where we need to win, and realistically tomorrow we need to win if we want to keep that gap that we have in front of Liverpool, especially with tomorrow, it's a must-win game because at the end of the day, I look at our squad and I think our squad, man for man, is better than West Ham. But if we don't, I don't expect us to go there and play beautiful football, keep possession, ping it around the park. I don't expect that, no. But what I do expect from the team is the work rate, the desire. Because in that second half at Brighton, mate, they absolutely down tools a lot of those players. And I named names previously. I'm not going to name names again. Because at the end of the day, I think Erik ten Hag's made his judgment on a lot of these players of whom he sees fit for the future and who he sees is going out the door. But he's got to keep the camp happy. He's still got things to play for this season. He's still potentially got a trophy, Champions League qualification, which sets him up brilliantly for next season, regardless of the ownership situation. So, at the end of the day, we look at the basics of our squad and we think man for man against West Ham, we should play them, we should beat them comfortably. The only problem with Man United in terms of our consistency for the majority of this season is we don't take our chances. We can potentially do that at home because if you miss a chance at home, with the atmosphere and the way that the mentality that we've had at Old Trafford, we're almost certain to get another chance. And we normally take that other chance, and that's where we've been bailed out. Away from home, these players, they haven't got that mentality. It's you get the one chance, mate, in that hostile environment, and you've got to take it. Otherwise, the game gets taken away from you, or you end up just drawing or capitulating the game. But as much as we want to talk about the result tomorrow, I think Erik ten Hag is going to stress on the performance because the way that the team set up for that second half, especially against Brighton, the way that we played the first half in comparison to the second was night and day. But overall, the one thing that we can take is with West Ham, we know with David Moyes, play 10 men behind the ball. We'll utilise the set pieces. We'll try and beat you to the second balls, the bullying tactics. We need players who are going to stand up tomorrow and who are actually going to, if you like, grow a pair and actually, have some resilience about themselves. Because at the end of the day, enough is enough about this team. We've seen it for the majority of the season. There's always been those blips. But I always trust this team in terms of when we go and lose one game, the next game we normally turn up.
Well, we'll see. You know what, Tom? We'll see about that tomorrow. Listen, we'll see about that tomorrow. But big up everybody. Please smash a like on the video. Big up to our Claire, queen of the chat. Big up to our Claire. I hope you're well. Sending love and light always. Solidarity. Bumbaye, talk to me. Tom, you got to come back. Bumbaye, talk to me. How do you see this game tomorrow? Actually, our record against West Ham is really good. I think we've beaten them 7 out of the last 8. So that tells you something. But it's going to be a very nervy game tomorrow because for me, having games in hand mean nothing to me in football. We've got to go there and win. We've got to go there and win. But talk to me, Bumbaye. Talk to me.
Good evening, boys. Good evening, everybody. It's going to be nervy, like you say. It's already a bit nerve-wracking now, So the boys have to go there. They know what they have to do by any means necessary. If we can get the win tomorrow, man, that's big. If we draw, it's still in our hands. And if we lose, man, it's just going to make everything else that much harder. So it's going to be a difficult game. They've got something to play for, West Ham. They're playing for their survival. They're not safe yet. They have to, they could still get relegated. And other than that, to be honest with you, we find ourselves in a situation we could have avoided. I mean, our form has been relatively good, 3 wins and a draw, and then a loss. But they're on a run. This was the danger that they could put a run together. And to be fair, we didn't think the top 4 was solidified until it was done. We spoke. I think Andy was on your show weeks and weeks back, and we said, listen, it's there's still work to be done here. It's not done yet, and Lord and behold, here we are. But the boys do have a tendency to rise after they've been kicked and after they're down. We've done that often this season. So I'm just hoping that tomorrow is one of those days.
100%. Let's hope. Big up everybody. Yeah, smash a like. Let's talk about the form team. Let's talk about the form aspect of it in terms of what's going on. Let's give you a little bit of background. Actually, they had a stomach bug, didn't they? They've got the shits. West Ham have got the shit. That's what United fans are going to sing tomorrow. You got the shits. You got the shits. You got the shits. They had the shits, didn't they? So they didn't have a couple of players playing. But let's get into it anyway. Team news. West Ham will continue to assess Declan Rice and Nuev Agard, Thomas Suter, all who missed Wednesday's defeat. City through illness. That was stomach bug they've got. Manager David Moyes says 2 additional unnamed players have also been unwell since then. Gianluca Scamacca, Kurt Zuma remain sidelined by injuries. Manchester United will monitor winger Alessandro Garnacho, who will be building his fitness after an ankle injury. Martinez and Varane are out, and Donny are out. Scott McTominay still out as well. It's going to be a very interesting game. Just to say match facts. West Ham are winless in their previous 6 league games against Manchester United, losing each of the last 5. The Reds have won their last 2 top-flight matches away. The Hammers has many victories in their previous 8 visits to East London, drawn 3, lost 3. They are vying to win the 3rd consecutive Premier League fixture away at West Ham for the first time since 2011. The Londoners have dropped 35 points from winning positions versus Manchester United in the Premier League, more than they have against any other side. West Ham are in danger of losing 4 consecutive Premier League games for the first time since ending 2022 with a run of 5 straight defeats. They are winless in their 3 most recent top flight home fixtures, conceding a total of 9 goals in a sequence. The Hammers have only won 2 of their 2 previous league matches on a Sunday, beating Southampton 1-0 and Bournemouth 4-0 last month. They have just won twice in their previous 13 Sunday fixtures, drawn 3, lost 8 prior to this. Lucas Paqueta has been involved in 4 goals in the last 4 home games for West Ham in all competitions, scoring 2 and assisting 2, compared to just 2 goals involved in both assists in his first 16 appearances in the London Stadium. Eric Ten Hag's side have lost 8 of the 17 Premier League games this season. Eric Ten Hag's side have lost 8 of the 17 Premier League games this season against teams currently in the top half of the table, but are unbeaten 16 matches versus sides bottom half of the table, winning 12 of those fixtures. The Reds have only won 2 of 8 top flight away matches in 2023, losing 4 of those fixtures. Their win at Fulham in November it's the only victory in their past 7 league matches in London. So we've drawn 3 in London and lost 4. Ten Hag's team are 2 goals short of 100 in all competition this season. 3 of Marcus Rashford's 4 league goals against West Ham have come on as a substitute. It's the most he has scored from the bench against a particular opponent in the competition. So that's where we are, guys. That's where we are. That's the magic number. So that's where we are, guys. In terms of the way West Ham play, Mundo, we understand, we know how the West Ham play. West Ham play kind of this type of style football where they go to mid to low block. They compress. Most likely, Antonio's going to play tomorrow, so they're going to try to press high up the pitch. And what's the guy called? Is the Algerian guy, the Algerian winger? They got Bowen.
Benrahma. You talk about Benrahma.
But Benrahma and Bowen invert. They've got the other guy, it's actually Spanish or Latin American or Argentinian guy. He plays wide as well sometimes. They've got really good players. What they do is their kind of wingers invert and the fullbacks go up. And sometimes they leave a lot of space in behind. But they've been very inconsistent. I know that they're in the semi-final. I think they're through to the semi-final of the Conference Cup, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're still in that. Yeah.
So they might be having an eye on that. Like I said, they've got the shits. A lot of them have got illnesses. I don't know if they're going to all be back, but you think they should be back. You think that after 3 days, you should get out of your system. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. But to me, this is a must-win game. We know what David Moyes does at Old Trafford. I think we beat them 1-0 towards earlier in the season. They're very low block especially against when they play against the big teams, they literally sit in deep and they do everything not to concede. So it's going to be about patience tomorrow. It's about that pass when you need to pass, shoot when you need to shoot. You know what? Third man runs, passes, combination play is super important. But how do we beat them? Where do we attack them, Mundo?
Well, I'm just thinking back to the game at Old Trafford, and David De Gea made 3 consecutive wonder saves, right? And Antonio caused us a lot of problems in that game. There was one chance where he should have squared it and he shot. He was running through. How do we win it? The problem, I'm struggling at the moment in terms of defense, we know, but the rest of the team, midfield and the forward positions, I just don't know who we should be playing because they're all on terrible form. Like, you know, a lot of Man United fans were like, just wait until we get Martial back. He knits the team together. He's been absolutely dreadful, right? Fred, people were calling for Fred to be in the team. He has been horrendous.
To be fair, Mundo, against Brighton, I thought he pressed well, but before that, he's been dog shite. Go ahead.
On the ball, yeah, but the thing is, on the ball, normally, you know, I just don't know what happened in that Brighton game, but on the ball, he was absolutely shocking, especially second half. So it depends on the lineup the manager goes for tomorrow, but I don't think they're great defensively. You're right. We can get down the outside of them. That needs to be where we focus in the wide positions, and we need to just be robust, especially in terms of aerial duels, because they're going to put a lot of balls in the box.
Yeah.
Whoever plays left back has to be switched on all the time because Bowen makes he's a very tricky customer, that guy. And he's very good at making runs and, you know, on the blind side of defenders. He always seems to do that run, get on the wrong side of defenders and get in. So whoever's playing left back tomorrow is going to have to be wide awake all the time with that guy. We should be going into this game with confidence because, let's be honest, West Ham are not a great team, right? They're not a great team. You know, you just reeled off some stats there about their form, and they've been getting beaten at home by crap teams. But I'm just thinking and Arsenal had them on toast. And I know Arsenal are much further along in their evolution than we are, but when Arsenal, even though it was 2-2, that was Arsenal imploded in the game. That was the reason. That could have been a 4 or 5-0 easy. So if United but my concern, and I said this last time I was on the show before the Brighton game, you know they're going to be physical. They're going to put it on you. They're going to put it in the mix, and they're going to get in and about you. And whenever teams do that to us, we just don't match them physically. We don't win our duels, and that's the problem. Like, that's what happened against Brighton. So they're going to come pumped up tomorrow. It's like when you're in a slump, the best team to play at the moment is Manchester United. That's the honest truth. Like, if you're a team that play at home, you've got a game at home, and you just want to just throw it in the mixer, and it doesn't matter about how you play your football. You just want to you just want to battle for points. At the moment, we're the best team to play because whenever we go into that situation, we fold like a pack of cards. So
we're soft in the centre, aren't we? We crumble like apple crumble, don't we? Apple crumble. That's not.
We are apple crumble minus the custard, so we're dry as well. That's the thing. Crumble and we're dry.
There you go. He's a poet, and he didn't even know it.
Exactly. So in terms of winning the game tomorrow, I think very much it's going to rely, similar to what Tom was saying before, on our forward players. And when they get that chance, taking the chances. We have to be clinical tomorrow, absolutely. And it will take more than one goal, I think, as well, because I don't have any confidence in us winning games 1-0. So we need a couple of goals. The worrying thing is, when Rashford was on that hot streak, we were all saying, a lot of fans were saying, over-reliance on Rashford. And now Rashford's gone back to the old Rashford, which is rash decisions, running down blind alleys. Whereas before, like, everything he touched went in the back of the net. So that's problematic for us. And we don't have anybody else in the team. I just hope Anthony has one of those games where his radar's on and he just cuts inside and puts one in the top bins. I mean, that's it's a win and a prayer. That's what we're hoping for.
He's not done that lately. It's not in the Europa League. He only does that in the Europa League.
Martial doesn't look like he's going to score ever again, and because he doesn't even get anywhere near the goal, I don't know what he's doing. The backup to him or the alternative is Weghorst, and I don't think he scored like 2 goals all season since we signed him. Where are the goals coming from tomorrow? And then Bruno chips in now and again. So that is my concern. If I look amongst the squad and the team, I just don't know where the goals are coming from tomorrow. Yeah. But we'll wait and see.
Yeah. Bombaye, where do we score these goals from tomorrow? I think we need to demoralize them. If we score 1-2, we need to score the third straight away to demoralize them. I genuinely believe that. We need to get them with quick goals. We need to come out in that game on the front foot. Man United have to come out and silence that crowd and get in that and camp them in their own half and create. Because we've not seen that. We've gone back to this lackadaisical football style where the front 4 and 6 sometimes don't look like they've ever played football together. You saw it against Brighton. But how do we change it?
I think you and Mundo are right. I mean, first of all, whoever's playing left back has to have a game, has to have a good game. Bowen has been their man. I think tomorrow we have to start very fast. We have to be on the front foot. We have to really be going for it, and we have to be clinical. But unfortunately, saying be clinical is what we've been saying for a long time now. And I think looking after the Brighton game, and I don't know if you've seen Erik ten Hag's pre-match press conference, he was asked some quite pertinent questions. And if you read between the lines of those questions, there's a few things you'll identify. One is he's very, very good in a press conference. He knows how to say things indirectly, and in a way where you can't be offended, even though you know it's being directed at you, be it the board, which he alluded to, and be it certain segments of the pitch, and be it the team at large. We're not putting away chances. We're not making the best of good openings. Forget chances, good opportunities where it's just looking for the right pass or a good pass. You know, you have to change that, because Liverpool, for example, there's a lot of goals everywhere. You know, you're talking about 4 to 6 players that can pump goals. Here, you know, we haven't got that, man. We don't have a striker in it. And this, when I've gotten to this part of the season now, where the dust is settling and you're starting to take stock of where we are and what we need and how we want to go into next season, you know, we've done well to get this far, and I think it's the defense and the help from the midfield that has really shone through this season. You know, a goal difference of 9, but the highest clean sheets in the league. That tells you the story that we're not scoring goals, man. You know, Anthony fluffs his lines.
We're not. The weirdest is that we shoot when we need to pass, and we pass when we need to shoot. It's ridiculous.
Has to stop. You know, Rashford now, it's dried up a little bit. But I think Rashford is getting a bit desperate again, because what happens when you are given the mantle to be the main man and you're flying, you want to be the main man. He's got the courage to be the main man, but he's not doing the right things sometimes to be the main man. You don't have to score all the time. You know, contributing a different, give the right pass, look up instead of doing a shot. Anthony missing too many chances. Martial, to me, was dead 3 years ago. You know my position. I just don't see it. I really don't. Weghorst is Weghorst. And Sancho, you're not sure. It's looking a bit better, I have to say, but is he reliable? I don't know. So we've got a lot of problems in that last third, a lot of problems. And hopefully, you know, I mean, you can see it from space. So hopefully we will have some money to invest, but I have my reservations about that, depending on the takeover. Today he alluded to that. Depending on the structure, he alluded to City structure. How Pep Guardiola is important, but Tixi Begiristain is just as important. So we have to back this manager. Whatever happens, I'm at a stage now in the season where I'm kind of starting to fall for this manager. I really like him. And, you know, even if we didn't get top 4, which would make this season a pile of shit, really, a disaster zone, the cup wouldn't mean anything. Nothing would mean anything. It would be garbage. But I've seen enough that he's my man, whatever happens. But you have to come out tomorrow and you have to start fast and you have to play like this is a must-win game, everybody. So I don't need to tell the players. If they don't know, then nobody should be wearing the red tomorrow. They have to come out and blast it and be counted because, like I said, Brentford are already on holiday. That's it. You can see Brentford, man, they're winding it down a little bit. Villa are winding it down. There's teams that are winding. West Ham can't wind down. They could be relegated. And they're at home. They are going to fight for it. They've got nothing to lose, man. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. We've got a lot to lose. So it's going to be tricky. I know our form there is good. I feel that we will win this game. But there's always that worry, like, you know what I mean? Me and Mundo, we'll watch the game after 60 seconds or 5 minutes. All right, okay. We know what we've got today. The boys are not interested. It's going to be a bag of shit. Or, okay, they're interested. They better be interested tomorrow, bro.
100%. 100%. It's about controlling the game. It's about a fast start. It's about putting the ball in the back of the net, which we've not been doing lately. And that is the most important thing. So big up to everybody. There's over 100 of you in here. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We're the road to 10K people. We're at 500, sort of 8,000 subscribers. We're not that far off. So let's go, people. Let's go. Before the season starts, we need to get to 10,000. So let's go. We've got a couple of months, people. I want 10,000, and you all deserve it. Therapy Army, you all deserve to have 10,000 subscribers on this channel. Because
that's our transfer budget, £10,000, bro.
That's what it is under the Glazers, mate. Under the Glazers, they're still taking.
Now, did you see that interview with Ten Hag?
Yeah, I told everybody about it. I told everybody to go and watch it.
That's worrying for me.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying to you. Listen, everybody, go and watch the second half. It's on my Twitter page. Let me let people know on my Twitter. Go to the Twitter page. It's the embargo. It was the embargo section before the Brighton game. And he basically spelt it out. He basically said he's Qatarin. Honestly, he came in and said, I'm Qatarin. That's what he said. Somebody said, no, these United players don't look after the ball. There's zero chemistry in the front four. You said it for months now. We've said it too, chat. You can't trust them. Go 1-0 down. Of course, honestly, it is what it is. Pick up Alien Tenno. 6 games left. Time to stand up and be men. 100%. Time to stand up, man. Time to stand up. What did we win? I don't know. What do you win? What do you win? Big up the Therapy Army, says Stephanie. Listen, big up to every one of you. Come on, like and subscribe, people. Like and subscribe. Nuruddin, educate yourselves on the Glazers before slating them.
Is that Neil Ashton again?
Harris the comedian is here. Liverpool on fire, guys. Yeah, well.
Have we got a troll in the chat here who's trying to defend the Glazers?
Mundo.
It's Neil Ashton, man. He's back. He was here last week.
There's a City fan or a Liverpool fan and there's a troll in it, you know. That's why we are rent free, man. Welcome. Subscribe to the channel. We trolls are welcome as well on this channel. But then listen, tomorrow I just want to see attitude. And I'm just so happy. So Garnacho, apparently, he said on the press conference, at 10:30 he's going to come out. The second part of his press conference will come out. The reason why Manchester United have the embargo, by the way, newspapers, because they always have to have a story about Manchester United. So it's mainly to the broadcasters, the first part of the press conferences before games. Then the second part, embargo section, is always for the daily newspapers. Neil Ashton's boys, mate. Neil Ashton's boys. So we'll see what he says. But Mundo, I'll go to you. Garnacho, he said he hopes to have Garnacho on the bench. Tell me, I have missed that kid. I have missed that kid. Unbelievably missed that kid, Mundo. He was the only bright spark on the season from the bench who contributed, who literally either scored goals or teed up or set up goals. How much have we missed Garnacho, Mundo? How much have we missed him?
Yeah, big time. It's because he's direct, and we lack that directness when he's not available. But I don't understand why Pellistri didn't get more game time, because when he's come on, he's not threatening. And I'm tired of us like always. We seem quite conservative away from home. Like it's always like we're always worrying about the other team, but we don't give them enough to think about. Like as what Boumbaye was saying, we should be going in that game. So you know what? We're going to pin you in, right? And we're going to attack you, because isolate Antonio. You can't do it all on his own. You know what I mean? If you pin them back, they've only got Antonio. Jared Bowen is no danger if he's in his own half, is he? You know, that's what we need to be doing. We need to be front foot, and we need to be proactive. Against Brighton, we weren't even pressing. Like it was just like this strange mid block. And I know Brighton are the best team in terms of progressing the ball and getting through, passing through the lines. They're probably one of the best teams in Europe. They set those traps, don't they, from their centre backs and whatever. But nonetheless, I'm not seeing what I was seeing before earlier in the season, where we were the ones setting traps. We were the ones who were forcing errors high up the pitch. West Ham's defenders are not great on the ball, are they? If you look at their defence, they're not great on the ball. So put them under pressure. That's what I want to see tomorrow. I want to see Manchester United, West Ham under pressure from the first whistle. Not letting them build up steam in any part of the game whatsoever. Just what we're not very good at is we can do it during parts of the game where we put our hands around someone's throat and we're strangling them. But then when they're about to pass out, it's like we start tickling their belly. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you doing? You've got them in the death throes here, right? You've got them in the alligator death roll, and then all of a sudden you're giving them swimming lessons. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, go for the kill. We need that ruthlessness. Yeah. So tomorrow, that's what I want to see. I want to see, and not patches and periods where we're creating chances and then we're dropping off and then we're not turning up for another 45 minutes. Yeah, we might still miss chances, but you need to continue to create those chances throughout the game and keep going. We need to build up steam. We never do that in the game. We never seem to. We threaten it. We start to build up momentum, and then we just drop off. And I don't know what it is. Well, I have my suspicions. I think it's down to mentality. I purely think it's down to the players' mentality. Like, they can't put a shift in, because we've seen this for the last 3 years, haven't we? 45 minutes.
Yeah, man. 100%, Mundo. 100%. Big up Belly Visual. Big up, brother. Long time no chat. I know you usually actually no chat. I've not chatted to you. I've not seen you in the space for a while. But thanks for the super chat. Big up to you. But I see you trolling me all the time on Twitter, so keep up the trolling. He says, when the fan base is going to understand moving forward next season, we either sell Rashford or bench him. Well, the form he's on now, he needs to be bloody benched, but we haven't got anybody else. But the form that he's on right now, I mean, to be fair, he's been spectacular this season. Without his goals, I don't think we'll be this part where we are in the league, and definitely will not be. But I understand what you mean. He has to have it. To me, Rashford has to do more than just goals. I don't just want goals. Goals, of course, goals are the hardest thing in football to win games. But he has to do more because he's got the ability to do more. But we need more competition for him. I agree 100%. Belly Visual, I told her Rashford are not playing next year. Wow. There you go. Smash a like on the video, people. There's over 130 of you in here. Listen, how much you miss Garnacho, Boumbaye? How much is Garnacho important tomorrow? That we finally have it.
Just want to say... Yeah, just want to say welcome to Jamie Wooten, a new subscriber from Sheffield United fan. This guy, just in your comments. Garnacho's a big miss, man. He gives you that directness, as Mundo was saying. You know, he's not a known quantity as well. And he's young, he's courageous, he's fearless. He will keep going. He's not deterred. And sometimes you want that. You know, it's Shufal, I think, isn't that it? Right back, Kufal. Yeah. Go at him, man. You know what I mean? Go at him. Don't go at this guy. He's not the best. You know what I mean? If you stand him up one-on-one, tear him up, man. Go for it. Get him into that box and go at him. I mean, you will cause problems. For sure, you will cause problems. I think, I've been thinking, sometimes you watch United play, it's like really good first half. But Erik ten Hag's not sending us out to have a shocking second half that is the antithesis of the first one that we did. So I'm starting to veer towards, it's the players, man. We need some better players. We need some new players, and we need a bit of a clear out. I mean, now that the season is winding down, if we're talking about really challenging, forget winning. I just want a challenge at least, like Arsenal have done. That's what I want to be involved in. You can't just turn up and win. The City, you have to hold your hands up, man. If you know football, best team in the world for me, City is. They've got two teams. Allardyce was saying it today. He said they got the two best teams in the Premier League. He's right, man. It's just pure quality for quality. I mean, look at who they rested today, and your team's still scary. So if you're serious about going there, you're going to have to get rid of some people, take hits on some transfers. It doesn't matter. No point in keeping something because you paid a lot for it if it's just going to depreciate and it's a useless item. Just cut your losses and get rid. That's smart business. And go and get some top players, man. Go and invest. We should be getting some, the best, not makeshift that, it could be, it might be, maybe. Go and get the best. Raise the profile of the team.
Listen,
and raise, bro, the confidence and the morale of everybody. Look, Casemiro had an impact. Martinez had an impact. Imagine you go and you get Osimhen. Do you know what I'm saying? Imagine you go and you get
Harry
that
Kane, both of them. You get Osimhen and Harry Kane. Why can't you get Harry Kane and Osimhen, both of them?
Okay, man, look, get me one of them and I won't complain. Go and get Bolo Young from Napoli. Get these players, these top players. Put your money in your pocket if you're serious about competing with City, because to catch that team. Yeah, that's what he's saying.
We're going to come to that. But big up to Jamie Wooten. Welcome to United Real Therapy, man. This is all fans are welcome. This is the channel to be, man. Raw and real. Big up to Billy Vigil for the super chat as well. Like our Claire, the queen of the chat, is telling you, subscribe, mate. It's free. It's free, people. It is absolutely free. Mundo, give me your team for tomorrow. I need to get your team for tomorrow. Hit me with your team tomorrow.
Okay, my team is obviously De Gea.
Listen, by the way, let me just say this. I've got a funny feeling that because of Antonio, he might bring Maguire back.
Oh God, no!
Nah, mate, no, he's not that dumb. Come on, Maguire, bro. Antonio is going to cause so much trouble tomorrow if we let him. The last guy you want is Maguire.
No, not Maguire. He's cumbersome. And the thing about Antonio is, did Maguire play in that West Ham? Check the lineup for Old Trafford game. Who was the centre half pairing in that game? I have a sneaky suspicion Maguire played.
I think he did.
I'm going to check that right now, right? One buyer, give your team, because I want to fact check this, right?
I was hoping to feed off what you were going to give, but okay, here we go. De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Luke Shaw, Malacia. Oh, it's tough, that one, I'm going to trust him. Malacia, Casemiro in front of them. Bruno Fernandes.
I'm going to go for Eriksen. We need a bit of creativity, but take him over halftime.
Yeah, you could. You know what? Eriksen. Rashford left. Anthony Wright.
Martial up front.
Do you know Martial up front, man? All right. Yeah, Martial up front. Bro, do you know what? It's the sad thing about this is I'm not even picking a team. I'm just picking it's like Dad's Army, right? Get this ragtag bunch together, get out there, do your business. We need some players, man. I need to be able to say, no, there's no compromise. This is the starter. Right now, I'm like, yeah, maybe, it's too many variables at this stage of the season, man. We need to consolidate and solidify a solid 11 that is unmovable and killers waiting to take their positions once they drop off. That's when you can start to think, okay, we go into games. We've got injuries, no problem. Right now that the dust settling, as I'm saying, you get a good idea. Okay, what have we been? What are we? We are lacking, man. We need some new investment, and we need some people gone.
So I've just fact checked, right?
You know what? This is a very interesting thing. I've seen this as well. I've noticed our heads go down when we miss big chances, especially Rashi and Bruno. It's weird. Just need to keep going and put the miss out of their minds and make them.
All that moping shit, man. Crack on, get on with it.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying before. Like we build up steam. It's like we miss chances and then everyone's heads drop. It's like, no, you just need to keep building steam and steam. The chances will keep coming. But anyway, I've just fact checked. Maguire did play in that game at Old Trafford where they had a lot of chances, right? Where Antonio kept getting through. So he absolutely cannot play tomorrow, right? Yeah, my team would be...
Bro, look, you can't play Maguire, boys, just on the fact that this is a high-pressure game.
Exactly. The last... He cost us a Seville tie. Just him, right? Him being in the team cost us that tie. But anyway, so... Yeah, same back four, same back five. Midfield, Casemiro. I think I'm with you. I put Eriksen in there just because we just didn't have any control against Brighton, and I think we played better in the cup game because Eriksen played. So I would play Eriksen, Fernandes, and Casemiro, and then I'm tempted to bring Sancho back in on the left, Anthony on the right, and Rashford down the middle. Cause I just think Martial's been dreadful. Like, we can't go in on...
That's a good shout. That's not a bad shout, actually.
We can't go in on Weghorst when Martial's been, over the last few games, equally as bad for me. Like, ball retention, dreadful. Dallying on the ball. He keeps dallying on the ball and getting tackled. I don't know why is it... The thing is, he used to be good at doing that, holding the ball and doing and turning, or laying it off and turning. But for the last few games, and I don't know if he's cut because he's carrying an injury or something, but he's getting caught on the ball too much. So holding up the ball has been dreadful. He's been laying it off and then not even making any effort to attempt to even get anywhere near the area to score a goal. You'll see the chances we're creating. He's not getting on any of them, is he? I think he had that potential header against Brighton, which was deflected up in the air, and it wasn't. I don't even know if you can classify that as a chance. But other than that, he offered nothing, right? So we have a real problem in the centre forward position, right? So that's why I'm tempted to go with Rashford, because Rashford back out on the left is doing that headless stuff again, running down blind alleys and not creating anything for his teammates and just cutting in and getting tackled and just generally being dreadful. So just put him down the middle. And Sancho on the left, Sancho on the left. If Garnacho was fit enough, would I start him? No, I wouldn't. But Sancho on the left, maybe for 60, and then bring Garnacho on for the last 30 if he's got enough in his legs.
Yeah. Listen, it's going to be a very fascinating game tomorrow. Very fascinating game in more plot twists than your average drama tomorrow. But I don't want that. I just want a straightforward 2-3-0 win, Man United, get the hell out of there. It's going to be a fascinating game. I think I'm going to pick my team. I do not want Maguire anywhere near this team. So the back five stays for me. Diego Dalot has been finding a bit of form lately. So I'll keep him. I'm going to start Eriksen, Casemiro and Bruno. And then Rashford on the wing, on the left. Because there might be spacing behind their fullbacks. And then Martial up top, Anthony on the other side. I just don't. I want them to play for 90 minutes. I don't want you to make in subs other than Eriksen. Sabitzer for Eriksen. That's it. That's the only change I would make tomorrow. I know that he has to make changes because the players are fatigued. Manchester United will play more games than anybody else in Europe, top 5 leagues in Europe. So it is what it is. So it is a big thing. It is a big thing. Somebody just said, I just want to go to a couple of the things that I starred. This is this Alien Tenos. It says David De Gea, Malacia, Shaw, Lindelof, the lot. Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Sancho, Rashi, Anthony for me tomorrow. That's his team. The brother Mateus has just put it. Imagine the Scousers over Scouse rats take overtake us for the top 4 and Shitty City doing a treble. That will be the most horrendous season ever. Honestly, that would be.
And who's got the opportunity to stop both of those things happening? It's in our hands.
It's in our power, yeah. It's in our power. Ian Fontaine says Cantona would have got us the point we needed, 95, to win the league. Then a Memento would have beaten Everton in the cup final, but that season was a complete bunch of in the face of, because 100%. It was Andy Cole.
Wait a second. Wait, he's forgetting that he came back the following season and we did the double.
Yeah, we did.
He was the catalyst for that. So,
and he scored big goals. I'll never forget big goals. 1-0, Cantona. I think it was 6 or 7 games, 1-0 Cantona. Yeah, Ralph told us that the club needed an open heart surgery for at least 10 first team play footballers signed, 10 deadwood shifted on. It cost him his job. Yeah, I know he did. So that's the team for tomorrow, guys. That's the team. I'm going to go to Bombay. Bombay, what do you think the score's going to be tomorrow?
I'm going to go 3-1 United.
Yeah. I don't remember, Mateus. I don't remember last time either. Mundo, what do you think tomorrow? What do you think the score's going to be tomorrow?
I think
I'll take the 1-0 right now, by the way. 1-0. Scrappy one.
I don't see us keeping a clean sheet. So I go for 2-1 Man U. And the thing is, just on Mateus's point, I think the only person who scored from across this season, 2 players, I think Casemiro
and Rashford, to be fair.
And Rashford, yeah. And Casemiro at the moment is the only one who looks like he's going to get his head on something whenever the ball's in the box. I don't know why none of our other players can head the ball.
Yeah, but he's missed sitters though recently, Mundo. He's missed sitters, like headers, really bad headers, like comfortable ones for it. Because you know what? He's so underrated in the air, Casemiro. I expect him to score some of the chances that he gets. I expect him to those balls to go in that top bins with his head. That's what he is. That's how good he is. So I'm shocked, actually. I'm really shocked that he missed the one he missed against Brighton. I was like, what? That was the easiest chance in the back post there, top corner. Bang. What are you doing? So you think 2-1 United tomorrow? I'm going to go 1-0 Man United. 1-0 Man United. I think it might be a scrappy game. And if they score first, strapping for the long, long day, people. Strapping for the long bank holiday Sunday, because it's going to be a long one. I have a bad feeling that he'll play Maguire for his side. Honestly, I'm the same. Honestly, I'm the same. I'm going
to say it here and now, if Maguire plays tomorrow, I'm not wasting 2 hours of my life. I'm switching that TV off. I'm not joking. I refuse to watch. That's the honest truth. Like, I'm not going to bother. I just follow. Bombay will put the. I'll listen to his voice notes and whatever in our group chat, because he'll be giving me the running commentary about the calamities and what's going on.
All it's going to be is, Mundo, enjoy your meal with the family, man.
Yeah, man, I'm not doing it, man. I'm not watching him ever again for Man United. I'm not. If he's in the team, I'm not watching him.
Wow,
he's out. I mean, do you even see where's who's going to buy him? Who's going to pay 180 a week? How's that going to work?
Listen,
who?
Rusho Mallstars are going to sign him.
With what?
Daniel Levy, mate. Daniel Levy can have him, but it's part of the Kane straight swap for Kane.
Who was it? It was a team, Villa. Was it the Villa fans? Villa fans clapped him onto the pitch and sang his name. The Villa fans. Villa would take him.
They must be taking the piss there.
No, honestly, I'm not lying. They're not taking the piss. They want him. They've got Mings. I think, to me, I'd rather have Mings than Maguire, 100%. At least Mings not get pace.
Nah, man, Mings. Yeah, at least Mings is mobile. You know what? Our manager could coach him to do something, but if even our coach, who's a hands-on guy, cannot even make Maguire even 5% better than he was, because in my view, he's the same guy.
It's getting worse.
Yeah, he's worse. Yeah, okay, you said it. He's worse. So, if our manager, and you can see that there's been incremental improvements in some players, obviously there's some players that are just not good enough. So it doesn't matter who the coach is; they're not going to ever take us where we need to go. But they are better than last season. Whereas Maguire, I just don't see. This guy is just dreadful. He's really bad. And I've never seen a player affect a team so much. Yeah. It's like the other 10 players on the pitch, their confidence. It's like, You know, when you're like,
He's an
Mundo. When you were in school,
he's an impact player.
You know, when you were in school, you used to pick teams, and you used to get that one guy, and you used to go, "Oh no, the guy you know who can't kick a ball, right? You know you're losing." Like that. That's how our mentality. When we've got Maguire, our team's like, you're just waiting for the blunder.
Honestly, it is. It is. Honestly, when you're at Old Trafford, the whole stadium is like an anxiety. All right, the players on the pitch, the fans. Every time he gets on the ball, everybody's like, "Oh my God, what is he gonna do now?" Big up Alien Turner. Sorry, I missed the super chat, bro. He says, "Does Zanussi still make fridges?"
This guy's an LG American style fridge freezer, man.
Honestly, that's what it is. Listen, it is what it is. Weird what it's like about stubborn Baldy. Where's Palestri? Eric Tenardi's real only thing I dislike about that stubborn. He's very stubborn. Like big managers, they're very stubborn. Garnacho, no, listen, he's on the bench for me tomorrow. Listen, it's be first game. I think he would have had a couple of training sessions. Hopefully, he come through those training sessions really well. But listen, going back to the Glazers taking the piss. This is the new spin from Radcliffe. Radcliffe says this. Latest Radcliffe twist said, "Now I'll buy Man United full United by 2026." He's having an absolute laugh. Absolute laugh. And by the way, seriously, subscribe to my follow me on Twitter, that guy Red Devil, right? That guy Red Devil, Mr. Structure, and go and watch the video I posted. It was the press conference before the Brighton game, but it was the embargoed section. Embargoed section. I'm telling you guys, you need to go and watch that because he lit in the line. I'm telling you, he said the big players cost a lot of money. We need big players at this football club. He said Manchester United are one of the biggest clubs in the world, third biggest club in the world, or one of the top 3 clubs in the world. And Manchester United need to be competing for the Champions League and the league titles. So he came out fighting and swinging. And they asked him about, is the plans in order for him in the summer? He says, no. Is there anything about the sale? I don't know. So it is what it is. Yeah, Mundo saying rewatching Charlie getting crowned. You'd rather watch that than watch Maguire. I'm telling you.
Absolutely, I'd rather watch that. I'd rather have that on repeat than watch Harry Maguire. Yeah. And you know what? I've tried to be patient with the guy, but you know, United's away perform. I was actually tempted not to watch the game tomorrow because that's how frustrated I am with. I'm tired of going into games and just it spoils my flipping the rest of the day. Like it's that bad a performance. It's not the loss. I can take the loss. I can take losing. It's the manner of defeat. It's bringing back trauma from last season. Like I'm sat through when you think you've turned the corner and you're seeing that same crap again. And I think Bombay is right. It's like nothing's going to change until the makeup of this squad is completely changed. Like there's a lot of players there that need to go, and the ownership are the Glazers are screwing us because it sounds like the summer window is going to be a disaster because whoever buys the
Mundo, let me just get this. Honestly, it's true. I remember this. Alien Tunnel remembers this. That Greek concept of your career is over. Boy, was he right. Go ahead, Mundo. Sorry to interrupt you, but I had to get this. Go ahead.
No, just on that point as well. I think that's probably why they've probably dropped the case. They're like, nah, the guy's career's over, and let's just drop the case. But the thing is, I was saying what the problem we have is this turmoil of not knowing what's going on with the club and the manager having to come out and say things in press conferences. And you know, it's just not typical Glazers. It's like, why don't you just leave? If you're gonna leave, do at least. It's like you've done enough damage already. Do one thing. At least do one thing for the fans, and that's just leave us in a situation where we're able to compete next season. But no, because it's all about them. It epitomizes everything about those Glazers in our club, that they always put their family first above everything else and to the detriment of everything else, unnecessarily as well. This is not necessary. You know, if you read financial stuff and you listen to people who talk about the financial side of the sale, going 3 rounds, dragging their heels, having these arbitrary deadlines. It's all nonsense. It's like you either want to sell the club or you don't want to sell the club. And if you want to sell the club, it's now that you've reached this so-called in inverted commas final round of bids, and the bids are in. Why is it taking so long for them to make a decision? That's what I don't understand. That's the frustrating bit.
Yeah.
They may have made a decision. There might be stuff going on behind the scenes we don't know. But you would expect some form of communication around that, but there's nothing. And the fact that the manager's now coming out and saying stuff is telling us that nothing is happening. It's likely that very little is happening behind the scenes because the manager's frustrated and he's airing those frustrations publicly. So it is a cluster. The only thing that can go worse from here is if we miss out on top 4, City do the treble, we're not still sold by the summer. The Bants is going to be next level, right? I'm switching off all social media. I'm hibernating, mate. I'm moving somewhere where they don't have TV, telephones, nothing, because we are going to get it. So let's just hope that the boys pull through, and let's just hope that the sale is finalized sooner rather than later, and that whoever comes in gives our manager what he needs. And not just in incoming, but outgoings as well. We need to be brave. We need to get rid of play. There might be some fan favourites that need to be shipped out of the door, because they're not got the metal. They haven't got the cojones that Man United need to compete with Manchester City. Arteta is Arsenal at the blueprint. Yeah, he made some tough decisions. He got rid of Aubameyang. People were questioning about that. He got rid of Ozil and he cleared decks, right? And that's what we need. But our manager hasn't been able to do that yet, because in terms of the players that have left, only players that have reached the end of their contract. We talked about this before. They're the only players really that have left. I've not seen anybody else. We've still got the same squad that have been letting us down season after season after season, right? Yeah. If the manager said, I'm getting rid of Rashford, that's his decision. If he says, I'm getting rid of Varane, even if he said tomorrow, I'm selling Casemiro, I'm backing my manager, right? If that's what he thinks the right move is, that's it.
Yeah.
So, final point on this. Somebody made a comment before about Fergie was able to win under this ownership.
Fergie
is one in a kind. And Fergie, you're talking about a manager who'd been in the hot seat for decades.
Yes.
Right? You're not talking about a manager who's been in the job for 10 months. Managing in a different league with players that are not of the same mental fortitude that those players that Ferguson had, because they might have not been at the same level in terms of their ability, but they were heads above these guys in terms of their mentality. The guys like Darren Fletcher, John O'Shea, they will give you 100% every single game. I can't say that about any of these players in our current squad, barring maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, listen, it's what it is. Big up King Process. Dildo is the best player right now. I don't know who that is, but big up. Thanks for the super chat. Listen, this is the part of the game where we got to go to. We've got to go to some of the questions that were asked. So let's go. Some of the questions that were asked. Big up to everybody. Listen, love and light for the people of Palestine. I don't know if something's happening there. I've not checked the news.
No, things have not stopped for a while there. It's really bad. So I tip my hat to Matt House for sure.
Yeah. Big up. Listen, free Palestine always. Free Palestine, man. That is simple and straight. Viva Palestina. That's always is. Listen, I want to get some to come with your questions, right? I think Mundo answered that question. That was Osman. That question was answered. Here we go. Mundo, I'll throw that to you. Bombay, I'll throw that to you. If you had to buy a striker, who would you pick, Osman or Kane?
Well, I think they're very similar. I think, for me, Kane is more complete, but I think Osimhen is a lot younger. So I've always loved Harry Kane. I just feel Harry Kane, man, it's proven year after year. He's having one of his best seasons in the shittest team ever. The thing as well that tips it, when you're talking about it's looking bleak in terms of the summer. Osimhen, you might get into a bidding war with some big teams that want him. You know what I mean? The world is his oyster. He's 23.
Yeah.
Kane, I feel, there's a year left on the contract. Where can Kane actually go? He can't go to any London teams. Liverpool have got Darwin. City have got Haaland. So we're at the top of the pecking order. There's this thing about Bayern Munich. I don't think he's going to go to Bayern Munich and win what? A Bundesliga? A German Cup that's going to change his destiny? No, not really. Madrid? I don't know. I don't see it. Barcelona? I don't see it. I think we're in the driving seat for Harry. And for me, Harry's a sure banker, man. And Harry won't have to play deep like he plays for Tottenham when he plays for us. Harry will be, listen, you're here to score goals now, to do what you are supposed to do. We know you can do the rest of it, but in the main, that's what we want you to do is bang goals. I mean, I take either, man. Believe me. When you look what we've got at the moment, exactly. I take Arnautovic, but I'm a Kane man.
I think we need more creativity in the midfield. People that can run with the ball, can isolate players as well. We need more, and we need competition for Anthony, 100%. Because I'm sick of it. He says here, Mundo, I'll ask you, who's worse, United's last season or Chelsea this season? Because United last season played some proper bad football. Go that to you quickly, Mundo.
I mean, that is not even a competition because they've gone and spent 600 million and
Exactly.
they're that bad. And I always said, even when I always said Lampard was a worse manager than Ollie. When they were both managing Chelsea and Man United respectively, I said Lampard was a worse manager. So absolutely, Chelsea have had a far worse season than Man United last season.
Did you hear the fans today? They were singing, "We are staying up. We are staying up. Say we are staying up."
And just what Bombay was saying quickly, this is one I've thrown in the mix. I would probably buy Kane. And I'd buy Evan Ferguson and loan him back to Brighton. That's what I would do if I had the money. If the Qataris came in, because Kane's got what we could say 3 or 4 seasons. At that point, you would expect Ferguson to be in his prime or coming towards his prime. In 3 or 4 years' time. Give him another season at Brighton, bring him in as an understudy to Kane. Yeah, that's what I would do.
I think Claire makes a good shout, Chelsea have got the dough. And what did Chelsea miss? Striker. They might have the money to go and buy an Osimhen.
Yeah. Now, 100%. But is he going to go to a
team?
Not
a bad shout.
Yeah. No. Listen, I've said it already. We've said it already. Listen, for me, the biggest thing is that Osimhen, Man United need to set him up. And I agree with Dom's Dewsbury. Says Kane would be better for United. But I want Kane. And I want the Haaland, the Danish player who plays for Atlanta.
Oh yeah, that's another good shout.
Or Evans for Brighton. But I don't want them loaning anybody. I want them both to stay. I want Man United to have options of the bench next season, Mundo. I need options. I'm not sending anybody else on effing loan. You're all effing staying, and you better be ready to fill your boots. That's what I need.
You know what? If we can afford it, man, you should buy 2. Honestly, and keep 2. I mean, Martial, if you can offload Martial, you should. And Weghorst is not staying.
Listen, especially if we get Kane, we need a young guy. Tony's a Liverpool fan, man. And you know what? He professed to want to play. He said his dream to play for Liverpool. He said it on the podcast a year ago. Was it last year?
And Tony's not going to play a backup. Tony's a starting striker. Like, if you're going to get a backup striker, you need to get a young player who's up and coming, first, second contract, as Ralph would put it.
Mundo, that guy, what's his name? He plays for Atlanta, left-footed.
He's called Højlund or something, is he? Højlund.
Yeah.
Højlund, yeah. Atalanta guy, blonde hair, Danish, is he? Or
United fan. Evans apparently United fan as well.
Guys, when I'm thinking about signings, I'm not looking at Tony because Tony's not catching Man City. We're talking, I need top end. I mean, it's not only about I need to spend 150 million on a player. No, I understand the right player. But I'm looking, and this is the right player. Usually the right player is not cheap or a bargain price. Do you know what I mean? Casemiro was the right player at 80 million. Martinez was the right player at 50 million.
Have you heard the way we're talking? At this rate, Manchester United have got apparently 100 million, and we need to sell players. We're talking about buying this. Man United, Manchester United need 3 midfielders. Bye Scott McTominay, Ted Alfred. We need 3 midfielders to come in. Somebody to give Casemiro a rest, or when Casemiro's not on form to play, Caicedo for me, like somebody like Caicedo. And we need, because Latvia is going to Chelsea apparently now. Yeah, Holjon, whatever his name is. Yeah, Holjon. I don't know how you say his name. I'm sorry, I'm butchering it.
Hoyland.
The way it is. Honestly, it's the
What
way it is.
What's your take on McAllister, Brighton, in our midfield?
Nah, not for me. Not for me.
I like him.
What do you say?
I think he's a good player. I think he's
Not
a
for
very
me,
good.
though, Mundo. Honestly, not for me, Mundo. You know what? I
Why
need
not?
somebody more who is more kind of like take people on.
You're talking about someone who's like a ball progressor.
Isolate Mundo. I need somebody with a bit more magic in the feet. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's a fantastic player. But I just can't see it. Honestly, to me, if it's McAllister or Caicedo any day of the week, any day, and we could have got him for 5 million. We could have got him for 5 effing million. This football club, don't even.
Yeah, but would he? I don't know about his development at our club though. That's the worry.
No, Mundo, you send him alone. Mundo, I stop you there. Who says he can't send these young players on loan? Who says he can't buy young Latin American talent and send them alone to Brighton? A good footballing team.
You're talking too much. You're talking too much sense. We don't do that as a football club. That's the problem. We would have bought him, put him in the reserves, right?
No, I'm not putting you in the reserves. I'm getting you to go and play football and develop.
Yeah, that's what you would do. That's what I would do. That's
2-year loan. I'm signing a 2-year loan deal there to go and develop.
That's what a sensible football club would do. That's what you would do. That's what I would do. This version of Manchester United would not have done that with him. He would have been busted up. They would have sent him somewhere else, and then we would have seen the play we're seeing now. It's kind of like we can't be trusted with young players. It's like they need to go somewhere else and develop, and then we buy them at a premium because our record is terrible.
Yeah. Listen, do you know every time?
Mundo, I always break it down to Glazonomics. We can't, because what they do is they look at the player's contract, and if the player leaves before that contract, they see it as a loss on the spreadsheet. That's what it is. You know what, Claire? You can't really judge him. Chelsea is a clown show. It's an absolute clown show. You can't really.
It's difficult to judge anybody there right now.
From Southampton, apparently Chelsea's already a done deal. Apparently, even though City have got first buyback on him.
So I don't know what's going on with Chelsea because they need to sell about 10, 15 players. So why they've got Nkunku's coming in as well. People have got about him. Lukaku's coming back from his loan spell at Inter Milan. They've got all these incoming players already. Malo Gusto from Lyon is coming, right? That's notwithstanding the 35 first team players they've already got, right? So how are they going out buying Lavia and these guys? I don't know how the Premier League is allowing this to happen, to be honest with you.
I think Chelsea, bro, have got some good players, though, worth good money that are obviously going. I think guys like Pulisic, there's 30 million pound there. I think the Ziyech, he will go. The thing with them is they went and bought everybody. But I think that doesn't leave them with the likes of Martial or Jones or Maguire. The players that they've got to sell are still players that are worth some money. And the lads that are really old, they will just go nice and easy and quietly. I just think they need the manager to come and, just do a clean out. Say, right, this is the squad. This is us this season. We've got quality. Because, man, if they just get it right, they've got a lot of talent in that team, man.
Who would you buy? From who? The 10 players Chelsea need to sell, who would you get?
Who would I get?
I don't want Mount anywhere near my football club.
You know what? I think it would be a good shout. I to be honest with you, I've never really been that much of a fan of his, but now I appreciate what he does. I think Kovacic would be.
Mundo, he's 30, man. He's 30, full of injuries. Mundo, I'm sorry.
He is good, you know.
I'd have put him McTominay 100%. He's a massive improvement on those two. I tell you that because he actually gets on the ball and can hold the ball. He's very much Kovacic. He's very much press resistant on the ball. He's quite good, technically good, but Mundo, he gets too many injuries already.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. We want younger players, but he's someone to get a reasonable price because it's last year of his contract.
Yeah.
You know what, man? I don't know why you don't like Mason Mount, Nuruddin.
No.
I think Mason Mount is a very, very good, talented player, man. I think he could. For me, we had a show here a couple of weeks ago, and I've come to the realization that on the basis of a limited budget where we have to prioritize players instead of getting everything we actually want, I was in the midfield position. I kept thinking, I'm scared that Casemiro gets injured. We need an understudy. But I'm more afraid of Eriksen getting injured more than anything now. Because what I find is the majority of the games where we seem to suffer is because when the game is getting away from us, we don't know how to slow it down and get a foothold of the game anymore, because it becomes very tennis-like football. They attack, we attack, they attack, we attack, and when we attack, we're not great because we've not got a striker. It's not clinical. I think that's cost us a lot, and this is why I'm mentioning players like McAllister. This is why I'm mentioning somebody like maybe Mason Mount, to give you a different type of thing. Because when Eriksen's playing, I find that it is actually defensively productive, because if you have the ball and you can dictate the pace, it takes away from the necessity of constantly pumping energy, defending, rocking and rolling. Because you can put Fred sometimes, you can put McTominay in with Casemiro, but it still doesn't look right because we're not getting a foothold in the game. And this is why I think Caicedo obviously is wonderful. I won't say no. But I think if I had to choose a type, I'm more inclined to the Eriksen, because he's not only injury prone and he's getting on now, there really is nobody else that can deputize for what he gives us. And this is a big, big worry for me. And that's why I'm looking at the types of players in a different way if I have to choose one type.
Yeah, and Mount isn't that type of player. What we've got is we've got a squad full of runners. That's what we've got.
Yeah.
We've got too much legs and not enough brains in the team. That's why we struggle to, as you say, control the game. So I agree with you. We need I don't think it's even an Eriksen. I think it's someone to come straight into the first 11 instead of Eriksen. I think Eriksen's at that stage where he's the guy you bring off the bench. He shouldn't be starting games for Manchester United. That's the honest truth. He should be coming off the bench, but because of Glazonomics and whatever, he's in the starting 11. And when he's out of the team, you're right. It's absolutely apparent. You can see we can't even keep hold of the ball.
Of course. Listen, Paulina, 100% Claire. Big up Claire. Paulina is a good shout, but he's in his late 20s as well. I want a guy who's going to be here for the next decade. I really want a guy who's going to be here for 10 years at least, or 8 years. Somebody can get better. That can get better and better. To me, somebody who does not giving the ball away, who's good on the ball. Somebody said they like Maddison. Yeah, Saeed loves him. Saeed absolutely thinks Maddison is the player. Man United should get, but it is what it is.
Yeah, but where's Bruno Fernandes going? Why are we talking about players that play in advanced positions and our problems in the defensive and middle third of the midfield in terms of defensive and progressing the ball? Bruno's a attacking player, isn't he?
Listen, we're not getting
Maddison.
Listen, we need somebody like Frankie, but we're not getting Frankie. We just need to find it. That guy, what's his name? Manu? Is it Kone Manu who plays for? Who does he play for? Werder Bremen. Is it Werder Bremen?
The French guy.
Yeah, the French guy. He plays in Germany. Yeah.
We're talking about Koulibaly Mani, the forward.
Oh, sorry, Koulibaly Mani. Yes, Koulibaly Mani. Yeah.
He's a forward. Yeah, he plays for Frankfurt.
No, not him. No, not the striker. I'm talking about a midfield player with dreads.
You're talking about. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. It's Kone Manu. That's his name, Kone Manu. Yeah.
Yeah. Kone Manu. Yeah. Or Manu Kone or something.
Yeah, Manu Kone. Yeah, Manu Kone. Sorry.
We're not even going to sniff Jude Bellingham, are we? Nothing. No way. Impossible.
Yeah, he plays for Muslak, but big up Blacker. Yeah. Big up Blacker.
I don't think that Bellingham. We don't need Bellingham. Bellingham's not the type of player we need. He doesn't fit that profile, does he? He's not a defensive midfielder. He's a offensive midfielder, isn't he? He's more of a box to box type guy.
There's different ways of deploying midfields for me. You don't sometimes, if you look at a guy like Mount, for example, you look at a guy like Bellingham. To me, I see potential eights, potential people that are well-rounded. They might not be phenomenal at anything, but they're good at a bit of everything. So I look at Mason Mount. He's an engine, but he's very impressive when he goes forward. He can drive that ball. Very technical, links up the play really well. Bellingham, there's nothing that I look at a 19-year-old like that he can't actually do. And at 19, my God, I don't even want to know what he's going to be like at 28 when he hits his prime. Madrid are looking to pay over 100 million for a 19-year-old. I mean, I was thinking, what's the hype? Man, it's not hype. You know, I don't see this guy ever going for anything less than 100 million. I look at him and I watched him in the World Cup. Jude Bellingham, to me, man, plays with a maturity way ahead of his years. I think he's got a little bit of everything. I really do. And then McAllister, again, another guy, decent in a tackle, very proficient going forward, good temperament. Yeah, you deploy two of those guys with a Harry Kane or an Osimhen, with Anthony and Rashford either side, and say to Casemiro, sit tight. Jesus, man, it's crazy. It's like Liverpool, if you remember, they had Coutinho. He thought, right, we're losing him. We can't find another Coutinho. We need to get another types of midfielders to deploy a new type of midfield. They went with all-rounders, Wijnaldum, Henderson, up, down, proficient at both sides of the job. I know Henderson's now is a bit on, but you have to work smart. You can deploy different types of midfield. I think we're looking at it a little bit, right? We need a defensive sitter, we need a ball-playing playmaker, and then Bruno, and then Bruno, and then Bruno.
Why don't we just get Camavinga? I mean, Camavinga for me.
Oh, mate, what a player. Right? Love him.
He's great defensively. And the thing is, as a ball carrier, he breaks the lines really, really well.
Yeah, he's a player.
So he can progress the ball really, really well. So I think if you had a midfield with him in it at Man United, it's giving you energy. He can play the Casemiro role if needed. He can play more advanced. He can play at left back now, right? That's where Madrid are playing him at the moment, at left back. I think if they sign Bellingham, they're going to want to raise some funds. I know he's coming, I think, to replace Modric because he's on the way out. But their midfield, Real Madrid's midfield with
Chouameni,
Camavinga, and Bellingham.
Oh dear!
Oh, that is some. Maybe we can tempt them, go in with some silly money and get Camavinga.
Give him Maguire.
Yo, big up, last word, man. You got the last word of the show, brother. Big up to you.
No, Jarvis is coming on. Wait for Jarvis. We just finished our stream, man.
Honestly, you know what? The streams are very long, so honestly, it's going to be quickly. Who's your team tomorrow, and what do you think the score's going to be? Quickly.
Oh shit! I just did my team. Jarvis did his cocky 11. I kind of agree and disagree. I think the back line stays the same. I think it will be like the same back line, back four, in terms of Dalot, Lindelof, Shaw, Aaron Wan-Bissaka midfield, the classical Bermuda Triangle. It's Casemiro, Eriksen, and Bruno. Left, we will see, I think it will be a Sancho. Middle will be Rashford, and to the right wing will be Antonio Dos Santos. I think it will be a very attacking line.
Yeah, let's hope we don't disappear in that Bermuda Triangle.
I hope not.
What do you think the score's going to be, mate? You're always optimistic.
Yeah, I think we got Moises' number. I mean, if you look at the current results, we have, we won 3 out of 3 last. They are fighting for the fourth out of relegation. They will definitely be hungry, but I think it will be 3-1 Ruby Classic, 3-1 United. I'm feeling optimistic. I do. Yeah. This is now or never. We have to go. We have to kill them. No retreat, no surrender. Go hard first 10 minutes, score the first one, and just off we go.
Yeah, big up, man. Big up to you. Listen, big up to Jarvis. No problem, Struck. Will be your next one if you're finished up. Yeah, listen, big up to everybody. Love and light. It is what it is. We'll see you tomorrow night, 10:30. 10:35 for the match reaction. Let's hope United just get the win. 1-0.
Make us proud. Make us proud. That's it.
Listen, I'll take 1-0. Bumbaye is locked into this channel. You never find him anywhere on social media.
He's part of the furniture.
Unless I want to be released from my clause if we don't make the top 4, mate, and the treble gets hit, I'm off.
100-year deal,
Bumbaye, you're part of the inventory. You're part of the furniture. You ain't going nowhere, man.
Close the station, man.
Listen, you're the Phil Jones of the channel, mate. You're staying forever. You're on a 10-year contract.
Oh my God, man.
You're like Phil Bodie. You're locked into 7-8 year contract.
I have to work more than Phil Jones here. That's how bad Phil Jones is. I actually do more work than Phil Jones.
Right? Just say, Jones, always believing. Yeah, you know the song. Bumbaye, like Mighty Mundo at Mighty Mundo. Hopefully,
Jones.
He's too much on the WhatsApp groups. He's too much on the group chat, other than tweeting about the game. But he needs to do that. And people, go and check out our Mick Ruby on Twitter. Mick Ruby and his Man UFC Realist TV. Go and check that out.
MUFC Realist TV. We just finished off the stream. Me and Jarvis. Big up Jarvis. You couldn't make it.
Big up Jarvis as well.
We just had 1.5 hours of stream. That's fine. So it's glad to come in. You came into my channel now. I'm just returning the favor. Big up for the community. Big up for everyone. Let's go for positive 3 points tomorrow. Let's do it.
Everything crossed. He said, win, lose or draw. Glazers out. Bankers out. Jim Ratcliffe out as well. We're not having any of that. I'll buy the club.
Let's push the rats out of the cliff.
Exactly.
The cliff.
Exactly. Big up Bumbaye. Listen, here you go. Bumbaye 40 million clause. Release clause. There you go. I'd rather get somebody says here, he says, I'd rather get prostate exam from a Captain Hook than play Maguire. Is safer in the back.
Put me down for that.
Wait a minute, Bumbaye, 40 minutes release close plus a Snickers, right?
You know what? Here we go. Big up. I'm the truth and nerd. If you get top 4, I'm giving this channel. Wow, $1,000. There you go. Let's go, bro. Let's go. Let's hope I'm for my sake, people. For my sake, cost of living crisis and all that. And anyway, and
you got to make sure that's US dollars, because you can't be coming with some dollars where it's like $2,000 to the pound or something on the exchange rate. Make sure
buy me the Snicker bar, man.
I am the
or some M&M's, man.
US dollars.
Oh, dear. Listen. If you know, can I get a 10p mix with that? With $1,000, 10p mix. Remember, if you know the 10p mix. But anyway, people, love and light, everybody. MUFC Realist TV. Go and check it out.
Big up everyone.
At Mighty Mundo. Bumbaye, you'll never catch him anywhere except for here. Jarvis, make sure you go and check out Jarvis. It's Bowley, BOLE 77. At Bowley 77, Jarvis Cocker.
But it's not Toad Bowley. It's not Toad Bowley for the reference.
No, he's not Toad Bowley at all. He's far too sensible for that. But anyway, love and light, people. Take care. We'll catch you tomorrow. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, share the link with people, let the people know about the community, people, because you know what? Here is raw, real, and we tell it as it is. West Ham, we have to go. For me, I'll take it. I'll take 1-0 coming off somebody's backside. Jammy goal, I'll take it. I love it. Big up, people. Take care. Good night.
Peace.